imagine if you were to ask a mouse, would you like to actually be as intelligent as a human?
Right.
It's hard to know what people would say, but generally that's a positive thing.
Generally, yeah.
And that's what it's going to be like. We're going to be that much smarter.
And what do you anticipate?
And once we're there, is someone going to say, "No, I don't really like this. I want to be stupid like human beings used to be"? Nobody's really going to say that. Do human beings now say, "Gee, I'm really too smart. I'd really like to be like a mouse"?
Not necessarily, but what people do say is that technology is too invasive and that it's too much a part of my life, and I'd like to sort of have a bit of an electronic vacation and separate from it. And there's a lot of people that I know that have gone to...
But nobody does that. Nobody becomes stupid like we used to be when we were mice.
Right, but I'm not saying stupid. I'm saying some people just like being a human the way humans are now. Because one of the complications that comes with the integration of technology is what we're seeing now with people. Massive increases in anxiety from social media use, being manipulated by algorithms, the effect that it has on culture, misinformation and disinformation and propaganda. There's so many different factors that are at play now that make people more anxious and more depressed statistically than ever.
I'm not sure we had more anxiety.
You're not sure?
Today than we used to have.
Well, we certainly had more when the Mongols were invading. We certainly had more anxiety when we were worried constantly about war. But I think people have a pretty heightened level
like take
of social
war.
anxiety.
I mean, 80 years ago, we had 100 million people die in Europe and Asia from World War II. We're very concerned about wars today, and they're terrible. But we're not losing millions of people.
Right, but we could. We most certainly could. With what's going on with Israel and Gaza, what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, it can easily escalate.
But it's thousands of people. It's not millions of people.
For now. Yeah, but if it escalates into a hot war where it's involving the entire world.
What would really cause a tremendous amount of danger is something that's not really artificial intelligence. It was invented when I was a child, which is atomic weapons.
Right.
I remember when I was like 5 or 6, we'd actually go outside, put our hands behind our back to protect us from a nuclear war.
Yeah, drills.
And actually it seemed to work. We're still here. So.
Do you remember those things where they tell kids to get under the desk?
Yes, that's right. We went under the desk and put our...
Which is hilarious, as if a desk is going to protect you from a nuclear bomb.
Right, but that's not AI.
Right. No, but AI applied to nuclear weapons makes them significantly more dangerous. And isn't one of the problems with AI is that AI will find a solution to a problem. Say if you have AI running your military, and AI says, what do you want me to do? And you say, well, I'd like to take over Taiwan. And AI says, well, this is how to do it. And it just implements it with no morals, no thought of any sort of diplomacy or just force.
Right. Hasn't happened yet. Because we do have people in charge, and the people are enhanced with AI, and AI can actually help us to avoid that kind of problem by thinking through the implications of different solutions.
Sure, if it has some sort of autonomy. But if we get to the point where one superpower has AI, artificial general intelligence, and the other one doesn't, how much of a significant advantage would that be?
I mean, I do think there are problems. Basically, there's problems with intelligence, and we'd like to say stupid. But actually, it's better to be intelligent. I believe it's better to have greater
overall
intelligence.
Sure, right. But my question was, if there's a race to achieve AGI, how close is this race? Is it neck and neck? Is it? Who's at the lead, and how much capital is being put into these companies that are at the lead, and whoever achieves it first, if that is under the control of a government. It's completely dependent upon what are the morals and ethics of that government. What's the Constitution? What if it happens in China? What if it happens in Russia? What if it happens somewhere other than the United States? And even if it does happen in the United States, who's controlling it?
I mean, the knowledge of how to create these things is pretty widespread. It's not like somebody can just capitalize on a way to do it and nobody else understands it. Knowledge of how to create a large language model or how to create the type of chips that would enable you to create this is actually pretty widespread.
Mm-hmm. So do you think essentially the competition is pretty even in all the countries currently?
Yeah.
And there's also probably espionage. There's espionage where they're stealing information and sharing information and selling information.
And in terms of differences, the United States actually has superior AI compared to other places.
Well, that's good for us.
I mean, we're actually way ahead of China, I would say.
Right, but China has a way of figuring out what we're doing and copying it. They're pretty good at that.
They have been, yeah.
Yeah.